So let's see how it works. Does it
Yeah.
work? Who knows? You never know. Oh, starting the stream. That's always a good sign when it says you're starting the stream.
Especially when you want to
Oh, that
stream.
stream health is orange again. That happened last time and then it turned green. Okay, we're live now. Hey, everybody. Excuse me. But we have an orange stream health signal.
Mm.
But that happened last time and then it turned green all of a sudden. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. But
There you go. Just mute the stream. There we go. I can see it now.
You can see it now?
There
Okay,
go.
cool. So yeah. So, hey everyone. No one's here yet. Well, we're not going to leave this in the archive anyway. We're going to delete it. I'm not going to leave it on the YouTube channel. So we can just wait for people to show up. And we can just, I want to just reiterate, the new website is now live. People are signing up and signing up all day, which is great. Happy
Awesome.
about that. And yeah, we're rocking and rolling, man. Or we're trying to.
Yeah, it's exciting, man.
It
Very-
is.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this for quite some time.
Yep, its site is up and it's done. It's well, you can't log in. The only thing you really see right now is the homepage. None of the, I mean, technically someone could log in, but they can't see the content, you know. So it's not published. Hey Tony, what's up, buddy? How are you? How you doing? Eric is here as well. Hi Eric. How are you? Good to see you, man. This is an impromptu. Well, it always is an impromptu. Every time we schedule one, we don't really get a lot of turnout. When we don't schedule one and we just show up, we get just as many people, if not more. So that's kind of the secret.
Yeah,
Don't plan
exactly.
it. Don't plan anything. There's no reason to plan. So Tony and Eric are here, and yeah, we're just there's 5 people watching, only 2 in the chat. But yeah, we're just you know, today is the big launch of mixingmadeeasy.net. If you're on my mailing list, and I'm sure you are if you're watching this, because if you're not, then I don't know what's wrong with you. But you would have gotten an email today. If you're on the Home Recording Made Easy site, you probably got an email about 2 hours ago. If you were on the mixingmadeeasy.net mailing list, which a lot of you were, you got an email earlier this morning that now enrollment is open. You can go to mixingmadeeasy.net. We have 12 people here now. However, and we have a green health live stream, Johnny, so we're ready to roll. And so you can go there right now and you can sign up and watch the video on the homepage. It's about 3 minutes, maybe 3.5 minutes. It tells you everything you need to know. Scroll on down the homepage. You'll see all the packages. You'll see everything that you get. I've given away more stuff than I've charged for. And so, so for $14.95 a month, you get $165 worth of free stuff. And if you join the yearly membership, you get $205 worth of free stuff. So
$100 a year, man, of free stuff.
yeah, you get $200 worth of over $200 worth of free stuff. So really, you pay your membership, and then it's really paid for with all the free stuff that you got. So
Yeah.
it's cool, right? And so yeah, hey Mike from Peace Valley Audio, how are you, brother? And so yeah, so I want everyone to go over there and check it out, and you know, check it out, try it. You know, I think if you, like we said the last time, if you've purchased any of the Quick Mix stuff in the past and you like that stuff, and we sell lots and lots of those every month, you're gonna love this. This is that times 10 for less money. If you've never done the Quick Mix stuff before, you should check it out. It's really cool. Or check out mixingmadeeasy.net. Every month we're gonna mix a new track, right? You're gonna see the mix from start to finish. We're going to give you lots of little goodies. We're doing different songs, different plugins, different types of mixing scenarios. And as a matter of fact, I was doing one of the month's contents today. We're doing a really cool country tune, which I think you're going to like. I'm trying to cover every style of music. And I want to make sure that we cover everything. And so, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's a great way to get in on the ground floor here, because in January, the membership packages go up, because I can't survive at $14 a month. But I will for all the hardcore guys. So we got 17 people here. If you're here and you're in the chat and you want to ask questions, you want to talk about stuff, you know, we're not here just to talk about mixingmadeeasy.net, but it is kind of a celebration live stream because it just launched today. 2 days earlier. It was supposed to be December 1st. I had the website ready to go a couple of days early, and I said, let me get it out a couple of days early, because everyone's already starting to gear up for Christmas here, especially everyone's minds are somewhere else. So I want to get you all signed up and get you rolling so you don't have to worry about it. And then you'll get some emails from me throughout the course of December. I'll send out a couple. So you'll just remind you January 1st. You'll log in and you'll see January's content there. The first song is really cool. It's a blues rock tune. Really kind of a down in kind of a dirty, greasy rock kind of a song. Really good tune. And that's going to be a lot of fun. There's also, Randall, how you doing, bud? Thanks for the congrats on the new site. Thank you, Randall. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'll see you over there. I'm sure I will. We're going to do a live stream every month like we're doing now, but I'm going to do one in the beginning of January, early, just so if anybody's having any issues, the site, you guys are going to have access to the site for the first 5 days. So I want to get on here and be available in case there's any issues or any questions. But it'll be pretty straightforward. There's a video in the bonus section of the website. I have a bunch of bonus videos in there for you that shows you how to navigate the site, but it's super simple. So if you can navigate Home Recording Made Easy, you can navigate this. It's simple.
Yeah.
Right. And so, Randall signed up today. Awesome, Randall. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it. Peace Valley Audio. Mike says, so if you sign up in December, it stays $14.95 forever. Well, if you leave and come back, brother, if you leave and cancel the membership and come back, it's not $14.95 anymore. It's $14.95 in the month of December. And if you stay an active member, that's your price every month forever and ever. But if people cancel and then come back, I'm not going to be able to switch up the offers. It becomes way too confusing. So don't leave. That's the moral of that story. Stay a member, because even if you get time, and right, everyone's busy during certain times of the year, especially with the holidays. And what I typically do even with the Quick Mix on the holidays is I do a smaller session. It's not as big, it's a little bit shorter content because I know people are busy. But remember now, you get to download you get to download each month to your computer, man. So you have it forever. You don't lose it if you don't download it. If you download it, you'll never lose the content, right? So even if you don't have time to do it one month, download it, get to it later. The other thing too is there's going to be more stuff involved than just the content. Okay, so there's going to be webinars we're going to do. There's going to be monthly live streams like this. There's also going to be, when you log in January, you'll see it. There's a section of, in addition to all the bonus videos I'm giving you and the drum samples and all the other stuff, there's going to be another section of videos that I'm going to do. I'm going to commit to a couple a month. Maybe I'll do more, but we'll see. That won't be a part of YouTube, that are going to be only for you guys. Mix tip videos, plug-in demos, things that won't go out to the public that you guys will only get. Okay. And I'm going to work out some other things too, where maybe it's a little more interactive. I'm going to send you guys out as members, like some polls. What do you want to see instruction on? That kind of thing. So there'll be some more additional training there. So if you don't necessarily have time to mix the song and watch all the videos that month, there's a bunch of other stuff you can still participate in. Okay. So and it'll grow over time. Trust me. So it'll be good deal. Yeah. Mike says, don't leave. That's right, Mike. Don't leave. Just sign up and stay a member, for crying out loud. That's all. Andy says, it's up now. I thought it was December 1st. Yes, Andy, but for you and my VIP people, I launched it a couple of days early because I wanted to give you guys an opportunity. It was ready to go. December 1st was the target date, but I did all our final testing on it today with my web guy, and I said, it's ready. So why wait? What's the point? If it helps you guys get access, whatever. Oh, and also if you sign up in December, hey, Woodbeast, what's up, bud? You sign up in December, you're also going to get a free Quick Mix from November. The Quick Mix I just did, you're going to get only in December though. Once this offer's gone, that's not a free product anymore. So you're going to get a second email after you sign up with a download link. You can download the Quick Mix for free right to your computer. If you already bought the November Quick Mix and somebody did, because they buy them all, just hit me up and I'll send you December's for free. Whatever. I want to give you a free course, okay? So you'll have that too. Woodbeast says, how much, Dave? Go to the site, Woodbeast, mixingmadeeasy.net. It's $14.95 a month. There's a yearly package too, but it works out to be the same. $14.95 a month for the membership. Let's see. Andy says, I just let my slate expire, so same price as that. Yeah, I think so, Andy. Isn't it $14 or something a month for Slate? I forget because I just pay per year.
It is. Yeah.
And they just bill my credit card I think they just billed it last week for the year. So I think so, Andy. I think it's the same price. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
Slate doesn't give you mixing training, by the way, just so
True.
you know. You get great plugins, but you don't get any training. So, but yeah, Woodby says, okay, that's a great price. Yeah, I tried Woodby. I really did. Now in January, the price goes to $19.95. Okay, so $14.95 is only for the month of December. But as I've already answered someone above, in case you came in late, if you sign up at $14.95, your price doesn't change in January. That package price for you will be there as long as you keep your membership active. But starting in January, the package price for new people coming in is $19.95. Okay, and even still, $19.95 is the same price that I charge for a quick mix. And like I said, this is times 10. And now you don't need to buy the quick mix anymore, because the quick mix is the mixingmadeeasy.net overview video, so you don't have to buy both. Okay, and it's all on the Mixing Made Easy site. You'll see it all. You'll be able to check it all out. So it'll be cool. What is, I can't read the name. Sipton dude. So what's so special about your mixes? So special? I don't know anything special about my mixes. I could tell you that if you're asking what's so special about the training, is that the training is very detailed, and I defy anyone to find a product on the market, and I mean anybody, pro level engineer or otherwise, like me, amateur, that gives you that much content for the money. And if you go check, you must check out one of my products on homerecordingmadeeasy.com. You'll know what I mean. I give an enormous amount of bang for the buck, more so than anybody on planet Earth. And if you could find someone that gives you more content for even the same price, or even regardless of price, send me the information. I want to check it out, because I have yet to see anybody give this much information for such an affordable price. And I really try to make sure that you really understand what's being taught. Okay, so you're not going to just see some overview of something I did and I just whip through all the plugins and, turn this dial, turn that dial. No. I show you how to mix, how
to actually do it.
How to do the job.
Yeah, not just turn dials and twist knobs and drag things.
Exactly. So
anybody can do that.
Yeah, no, so that's what it's all about. So, check it out. Like I said, I tell people, join for the month. If you don't like it after January, send me an email, cancel your membership. No big deal. It's okay. No hard feelings. I'll give, you can cancel at any time. You don't have to stay a member, but if you give it a couple of months and you really watch the stuff, and really, this is really intended also for folks, that really, you got to put a little time into this. This is not a 4-minute YouTube video, right? So it's really intended for folks that really, they really have the time and have the desire to want to sit down and really learn this stuff. You know what I mean? If you're just looking for the quick little 10-minute video, quick video YouTube fix, this is not that. So if that's what you're into, or you can't spend any time because you're just real busy, and I get it, then this is probably not for you. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want you to buy anything that you're not going to use. So that's cool. So yeah, hopefully you'll check it out, man. And let me know if you have any questions. You can always hit me up on an email, and I'd be glad to help. Or if you have any here, just ask. Let's see. Andy says David is a master engineer and also a great teacher. Thank you, Andy. That's very kind of you. I would use the master. That's a pretty strong word. I don't know about that, but I try. I try. And so that's good. Yeah. So that's what's going on. And the other thing we're going to do is there'll be a couple of times, at least 2 or 3 times during the course of the year, where I'll have a guest engineer, maybe someone like my friend Johnny here, who will provide additional content for the month.
Yeah.
No extra charge, right? So maybe you'll see, let's say in August, you'll see the content that I provide, and maybe you'll have also additional content from maybe Johnny or one of my other friends in the business. Totally free to you, no extra charge, and you get some more training. So there's going to be things like that are going to continue to happen.
And that's what sets this apart from all the others, dueling mixes included.
I love dueling mixes, but I could tell, and I used to be a member of dueling mixes. Graham and Joe are good friends of ours, great guys. Support them, check them out. You all know who they are. But I can tell you with 100% certainty that dueling mixes is nothing like this. Yeah. As far as dueling mixes, you get about a 45-minute to maybe an hour and 10-minute video of an overview that you don't see the mix in real time. Okay, you don't see all the different variety of plugins and techniques. You know, they do some stuff, but not like what I'm doing. They do something different, and they're wildly successful, and they're good engineers, and they're good guys. But
Yeah.
this is different than that. This really is. And they charge $27 a month. I charge you 14. So again, more training, less money. Any kind of music. There's all kinds of music. We do everything from rock to jazz to country to blues to, I mean, everything.
We'll even do
R&B, Motown, funk.
Dave will even do kazoo music if you ask nicely.
If you have a track of kazoo music. So yeah, so I'm trying to cover everything. I mean, obviously there's only so many genres, so there's some overlap, but I keep a list. It's actually sitting right here on the table in front of me. So every month I have a list of what the song is, what the style is, what plugins I'm using that month, and every month I try to change it up. So You won't see the same exact thing 2 times in a row. You'll see some of the same plugins, but I really try to mix it up quite a bit. And then we do different mixing techniques. You know, one month we're doing top-down mixing. The next month we're doing regular standard, mixing that you've always seen me do. Other months we're doing mixing where we're only using one EQ and one compressor.
Yeah.
Things like that. And again, it's not to show you the most, the best way I can mix every single song. It's to show you a bunch of different techniques and tools so you can take pieces of my workflow that you want to use and incorporate it into your own. It's not intended for you to just copy everything I do every month. Because then after the second month, why would you be a member? There's no reason for you to do it. You've seen it once, you've seen it, So I really wanted to make it different. So you guys had a lot of variety of things to see, to learn things. Some things you'll like, some things you won't like. But a lot of times it's good to know what you don't like as opposed to what you like. There's so many choices. There's so many techniques. There's so many ways of doing things that if you see different things in a different way, you'll find what you like. And that's cool. Do you own your final mix or me? You have your own final mix. You can use it on your website for your portfolio if you'd like. So you can show off clients or friends or whoever your mixing chops. Yes, the multi-tracks and the files are not, you don't have to worry about any copyright things or anything like that, okay? So you can use them. You can't sell them, obviously, but you can use them on your website, and it's your own mix. It's your stuff. And all the content, all the videos are yours too. You download them to your computer, they're yours. They don't expire. So there you go. Woodby says the toilet paper song. Yes, we'll do that too.
Yeah, I'll have to send you the lyrics to that, Dave. It's hilarious.
Is it? So that's it, man. So we're excited, and it's time to get it moving. So I hope you guys go check it out. What do you got going on, Johnny? Anything good?
Oh, yeah. I've been incredibly busy actually with a lot of Christmas stuff. It's just we're not even at December 1st yet. I try and keep my Christmas stuff, I start doing Christmas stuff on December 1st, and that gives me 23 and a half days to get it all done.
Mm-hmm.
So it's usually kind of like blitzkrieg is going on in this room for those 23 and a half days, but I ended up having to start about 2 weeks early this year. Just simply because I got asked to do a lot of different things all at the same time, which is not. I'm not the kind of guy that kind of says yes to everything, but it's more the fact that each one of these things is just really good fun and really interesting and a little bit, in some respects, stretching for me as well. So it's just like, yeah, I want to take those on because they're good for me.
Yeah.
But it's just like, sometimes you wait for a bus and you wait for an hour and no bus comes along, and then you walk and you're halfway to the next bus stop and 3 buses go past, so
right
that it's been that experience for me, kind of like I wait a long time to do it. It's been a couple of years since I've done a film score for a short film. It's an 8-minute film, and now I'm doing one, and it's just
nice.
Yeah, a bit of a bolt from the blue. It's a Christmas film, and it's really, really good. It's centered around Edinburgh here in Scotland. So, but I'm not using Scottish music at all. But I am making it fairly traditionally Christmas with just the merest splash of some jazz there. But it's just a splash.
Nice.
So yeah, that's going to be fun. Yeah, and I've got my irons in a lot of fire at the moment.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm working on a lot of stuff, mostly which I cannot talk about, unfortunately. But some of which I will be launching at the start of next year. So I will be able to talk about it in maybe 5 or 6 weeks time, but not at the moment, I'm afraid.
Cool. And it'll be on your live streams as well, right? So that information will come out soon.
Yes, I'll be doing special live streams for those particular things, and I'll be doing a stream kind of around the Christmas time with Johnny Gibe as well.
Cool.
So yeah, that's gonna be cool. And I just want to basically get all my industry friends involved in Christmas live streams this year. I think that'll be
Nice. That'll be a lot of fun.
yeah.
That'll be a lot of fun. Let's see. Someone asked, is it just single mixes or complete albums? No, just single mixes. We don't mix an entire album every month. No,
Wow,
no,
imagine that.
no, just a single track every month.
Yeah.
Andy says, will this help the advanced mix engineer or just basic? I would say intermediate mostly. Andy, beginner, intermediate. Advanced, yes. If we have enough advanced users and we need to create content for that, yes. That will probably be part of the additional video section I spoke of a little earlier, where we'll keep the mix itself for that month a little bit more, up the middle. Not too basic, not too advanced. But then there'll be additional videos, as I said, that'll be free, all in your members area, that will be more advanced techniques. Oh, and one last thing too, you also get there's a store there with all the Made Easy courses from the homerecordingmadeeasy.com catalog, and they're all discounted 25%. You only could get to that store if you're a member of mixingmadeeasy.net. So now if you wanted to pick up some of the more advanced mixing courses in my catalog, you can get them at 25% off, okay? So that's my gift to you. And we'll see where it goes. As members join and we get more interactive, and there's going to be, we do more stuff together. If we get more advanced, guys, and they want to see some more advanced stuff, or the community wants to kind of direct things a little bit, I'll do that. No problem. There's really no rules. I don't have it really locked in. It's got to be this way. I got a basic framework, and then we can move it as it goes. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully that makes sense, Andy. Yeah. Rainier says he's waiting for it, Johnny. Okay, so he's waiting for your stuff, Johnny, which is cool.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks, Rainer.
And yeah. Anybody have any other questions? I think you guys want to talk about, put it up in the chat. We'd be glad to try to answer any questions. I'm not going to spend too much time on here. I just wanted to get on here, say hello, and give you guys the go ahead to go to the site. And that's really it.
That's a great looking site. I mean, what you see at the moment looks really good. And as you scroll down the bottom, you see all the other cool stuff that's included. Yeah, that's really good to look at. So looking forward to kind of when the whole thing just goes bing and opens up. That's gonna be great.
Yeah. The homepage has got a lot of info. It'll show you everything. It breaks everything down for exactly what the site is all about, and then the videos there you can watch it. And then once you get in, you'll see everything. It's going to be pretty cool. I mean, I think so. Andy wants to know what mic I'm using. I'm using a Shure SM7B.
They're great mics.
Broadcast mic.
They are. They just sound just silky.
Yeah, they're really good. But the thing is, Andy, you need a cloud lifter for this. You can't this is a dynamic mic, but you need the cloud lifter because it's in order to get the signal up with 48 volts. You just can't plug this into a regular preamp. You'd have to jack the preamp so much to get the signal. There'd be all kinds of noise floor. That's the one thing that kind of sucks about it. I don't know why they designed it that way. It's a broadcast microphone. I don't know. Yeah. There must be a reason for it. So the cloud lifter's about $60 maybe. It's under the desk where I'd pull it out and show it to you. It's just it's not much bigger than a cell phone, and it's just got an XLR in and an XLR out. And what it does is it just brings up the signal, and it's powered by 48 volt Phantom. So on your interface, you just hit the Phantom button, and you're ready to go. And I've been using this for 4 or 5 years, and I like it.
They're about what, $340?
They might be that much. I don't think I paid that much 5 years ago, but I bought it new, but you can get them used like on Reverb or whatever for probably $250, $260.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And they also sound great on for like rock lead vocals. Great. Guitar cabinets, electric guitar, great. It's really a an SM57, but better. It's that kind of microphone. And
Yeah,
so yeah,
yeah,
it is really great. It's not you can in your studio you can use it in a lot of places. It doesn't just have to be vocals or voiceover stuff, but that's where it sounds the best to my ear anyway.
yeah. I've used one on acoustic guitar before. Kind of like as a body mic, rather than kind of up at the traditional
Hmm.
sort of like body meets neck kind of area of the guitar. I've used one kind of like down the bottom before, just to get just the sound of the wood resonance, and they pick up the low end just absolutely gorgeously.
Yeah, yeah. It's a nice mic. Yeah, I think you'd like it. And he says that's what Michael Jackson used. Yeah, yeah, on a couple of his records he used this. He also used an SM57.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Thriller was done with this 57, I think.
yeah, or one of these. It wasn't a very expensive mic, but I know he has a lot of big, name artists that on vocals have used inexpensive dynamic microphones to record vocals, a lot more than you would think,
Yeah,
you know. So I mean, thing is, you could put any microphone in front of Michael Jackson and it's going to sound. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, is the microphone really making that much of a difference at that point? Probably not.
Very, very little.
Right?
It's just a capture device at that point.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a great mic. I like it.
I was watching a really cool documentary this afternoon by the Sound on Sound magazine. Don't know if you've ever come across
Yeah,
those guys before.
I know who they are. Yep.
And they spent a day in this studio that's basically retrofitted out as a 1950s studio,
Oh wow.
and they use like RCA Victor ribbon mics
Mm-hmm.
quite extensively, and a couple that are made by Capitol, I think. And they're just absolutely the most gorgeous sounding microphones.
Yeah.
And it's just like one of the guys was there, and he just said, "Yeah, this used to be Frank Sinatra's mic whenever he was in London recording with the London Symphony Orchestra. This was his mic."
Well, there you
And
go.
and you're just like, "Yeah, it's a great mic."
Yeah, if it's good enough for Frank, it's good enough for me,
Absolutely.
right?
But it was a beautiful studio, kind of decked out with original 1950s console,
Mm-hmm.
1950s EQs, Pultec EQs, and LA2 compressors,
Right.
and just all original gear, and a couple of really, really nice tape machines. I'm trying to remember the models of these tape machines. Um, one of them was like a three track tape machine, which is really quite rare. I'm trying to remember what that was, but it used to be used at Abbey Road at one time. And they basically then bounced that down to half-inch tape.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but yeah, absolutely gorgeous studio, and I know where it is as well. It's in London, and I know exactly where it is. So next time I'm down in London, I'm going to go pay them a visit.
Yeah, you should go check it out. Yeah, those old ribbon microphones, they really have a really nice warm sound. I mean, that's what ribbons are normally, known for. So really good ribbon mics are really great sounding, you know.
It was more the way they kind of did the way they did everything back then was kind of like even the mixing was done in the recording phase
Yeah,
with
right.
positioning of the microphones,
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, we're going to have the band kind of gather around this particular mic, but we want the vocal on the positive side of the mic, and the bass on the negative side of the mic, and
Mm-hmm.
just different things like that, and then having the drums in the dead spot, so they can get some separation between the drum mic and the vocal mic. And so they basically recorded a record where for each successive song they added another mic. So they started off with one song where this four-piece rockabilly band were recorded with just one mic.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the second song they added a second, and so on. So they had like 5 songs, and eventually they had 5 mics, and working through all the the dealing with reflections and phase
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of stuff. And it was just really, really cool. And then you can go and to Sound on Sound, you can download all the songs, you can download the multi tracks and everything. And I listened to the final mix of the first song, the one where they recorded with just the one mic,
Yeah.
and it was just the best sounding of the 5 songs. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Just it sounded like it had been captured multi-mic, but it wasn't. It was just one mic.
Yeah.
It sounded epic.
Yeah. Yeah. There's an art form to doing that for sure. And the mixing console back then wasn't really a mixer console like you think, like we would, record and then come back later and mix everything. That was just a way to kind of mix it on the fly because it would cut it right to tape.
Yep.
Right. So, and whatever was on the tape, that was it. Maybe it was a couple of takes or whatever they had to do, but there was no, we're going to mix, put everything in, in a computer and then come back later. I mean, it was all done. I mean, because if you ever see the documentary like Muscle Shoals, I mean, they used to cut 6, 7 songs a day. I mean, they would go in, because that's how the people that used to cut all those hit records back then, those studio musicians, they were, they would say we had to have a song done in 45 minutes because we had to do 6 of them that day. And when they left, the songs were done, so the engineering on the front end had to be, they had to really understand what they were doing. It's a different thing.
Oh, totally. And it just kind of made me think about ways in which we could apply those kind of sensibilities to how we record in our home studios where we don't have RCA Victor mics,
Right.
And we don't have all of that classic analog 1950s gear. We
Right.
have, something like Studio One and maybe the Slate Everything bundle. And that's probably as close as a lot of folks are going to get. So
yeah, and that's okay. I mean, it's close enough. I mean, it is close enough. I mean, a lot of those plugins will give you kind of that feel, even though it's not identical, but it's close enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an interesting thing. Let's see. Andy says, I've been mixing an album, just piano and vocal, just having a hard time mixing. It seems like the more processing gets worse. Yeah, funny you say that. I don't know what month it's in. But some of the content for Mixing Made Easy, I mean, I'm ahead, right? So there's several months of Mixing Made Easy done and already done. And there is a couple of tracks, a couple of months where I do one's a jazz ballad, I think. I can't remember. But there are a couple of tracks I very distinguish talking about not over-processing and not using very many plugins. And in that particular month, we go through why. For what you just said. Because sometimes more processing is not a good thing. It depends on the song. It depends on how well it was recorded. And you can't overbake the cake. And so, yeah, there are certain songs that we do where we put all the bells and whistles and all the plugins in there because that song can deal with it. And there's other ones where less is more. And so one of the tricks to learning how to mix in the box and mixing with plugins, which is what we're all doing, is to not allow yourself to go down that road because it's so easy to have. It is a misconception that, well, if we have all these EQs and compressors, well, we got to put them on everything. You got to put them on every track. We got to put 2 compressors on this and 3 compressors on that. We got to EQ at the single track, then we got to EQ at the bus, and then we got to EQ at the master bus. No, you don't. I do a couple of mixes, and I don't remember what months they're in, where we do things like top-down mixing where there's no EQ or compression on any of the individual tracks. It's all done at the bus.
Yep.
Now, a lot of that has to do with the way the track was recorded. Certain songs, you can try that, and you're not going to get very far.
Yeah.
But there's other songs where you can do it. So, yeah. So, some of that stuff is dealt with in the content that I'm creating, Andy. And that's very common for that kind of thing to happen. Just because you have all these plugins, don't use them all.
Yeah, exactly. Use as few as you can actually get away with.
Right.
I kind of do. The vast majority of my work is jazz stuff or it's acoustic folk music. So, I do that kind of stuff a lot where it's maybe guitar and vocals or guitar vocals and accordion or something like that, or it's a jazz trio. And really it's about less is most definitely more.
Right.
The little processing you can get away with, the better. But as you say, a lot of that's going to come down to how good the captures are. If the recordings are not so good, then you're going to have to do more.
Right.
And then of course you're going to be treading that fine line between, making the whole thing sound to super crushed, or too dark or too bright. And too bright is very easy to do
Right.
with EQ when you've got like only a small number of voices or instruments. Really easy to do. Andy's saying there that the 1 to 2K range is just killing him, but when I pull it out, it's too dull. Yeah.
Right. So what you may want to do is go down and cut around 4 to 500.
Yeah, get
Because
the
if you have, and again, I don't know the track, Andy, but a lot of times you have, when you have pianos, horns, guitars, vocals, those four things, and if you have two or more of those in a song, you have a mid-range buildup. And
yeah,
so if you want the perception of a little more top end or a little more air without making it get screechy, and you don't want it to be too dark, cut some of that mid-range out. On a
yeah,
lot of the mixes I do, you'll see not almost every instrument, a good portion of the instrument, you'll always see me cut 4 to 500 2 dB. It's not a lot 2 dB on a single track, but the cumulative effect of that across a mix is huge. And that will instantly give you more clarity in that 1 to 2K range. The perception will be of a little more air, and it'll also tighten up the bottom end because that middle mud covers up a lot of stuff.
mm.
A lot of stuff, and a lot of people forget about that. A
Especially
lot of
piano.
a lot of people, they stay down in that 60 to 100 hertz. They want the big bottom end, and then they want to get around 2K to 8K, and they want the sparkly end. And not everyone, but a lot of people tend to forget about there's a whole set of frequencies between those in the mid range, low mids, high mids, that are ignored. And a lot of times I'll get people send me mixes. I'll look at the EQ curve, and there are big bumps in the bottom, big bumps at the top, and the mids are flat. And everything sounds very screechy or very muddy. And the trick to that is to cut some of those mids out and don't boost the top and the bottom, and it'll get a little bit more natural. But it depends on the track too, Andy. But that's a common thing. So try that, man. Try cutting a little bit of mids.
Bit of complementary EQ can go a long way as well. Particularly with instruments that are very similar. They may be dominant in a certain frequency range. Like guitars. If you've got lots of acoustic guitar tracks or acoustic and electric guitars, some complementary EQ can go a long way there.
Yeah.
Or got piano and a baritone voice as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're saying something about the tape machines giving a little bit of phasey. Well, it depends on the tape machine, and that can happen. Again, for that song, I didn't read the whole thing. It sounds like it's a piano vocal ballad. Andy, is that what it is?
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
So don't hit the tape too hard. Make sure, don't hit the tape very hard, because if you hit the tape too hard, depending on if you're setting it at 15 or, how many IPS per second are you running it? Which tape machine is it too? Because depending on the tape plug-in, some of them add a lot of color and a lot of phasey to it. And in certain styles of music, that's really desirable. You really want to slam the tape because that artifact is pleasing. But on something like a vocal piano ballad where things need to be really clean and clear, and that might not be what you want to do. Don't even use tape. You don't need it, not necessarily. Because remember, tape is also acting like a compressor too, Andy, if you're hitting it too hard. Okay, so be careful of that too.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally concur with that.
Yeah, the slate tape is usually the one that doesn't have the most hype. So yeah, just make sure you're not slamming it, and also make sure you're running, or try 30 IPS per second as opposed to 15. That'll give you a little bit more open sound, where the 15 is going to crush things a little bit more, and it's going to get a little bit more warm or dark, for lack of a better word. Try that. Try not. I don't know. Were you putting tape on all of the tracks or just the buses? I don't know what you're doing, but try to minimize the tape on 30 IPS, and that might help you a little bit. Let's see who else is up here. Your videos are awesome. Started using Studio One about 6 months ago. Thanks. Hey man, that's great. Congratulations starting Studio One. Thank you for the compliment. On the YouTube channel, there's a whole 13 video beginner's guide to using Studio One. Go check those out. They're free. You may have already, but if you're 6 months in and you need some help, those are some good videos. And then also check out Johnny's channel here, Johnny Lipsham, Johnny Geib's channel. I mean, between the three of us, you have enough Studio One information for a lifetime.
Oh, for sure.
Andy says he's got tape on all. Yeah, just do the bus, Andy. Just pull some of the tape off of there. Or just turn it off, bypass it, and then just try on the bus and see if that helps. Let's see. Oh, Mike. Okay, Mike's chiming in too to try to help out Andy. That's great. But yeah, that's, there you go. So what else is going on? Guys, what else is going on out there? Everyone get ready for the holiday. I'm sure we'll do another live stream between now and the holiday, but...
Hey, Dave, have you started your Christmas shopping yet?
No, it's way too early. No. Well, my wife does most of the Christmas shopping for, I'll buy her, obviously, something for Christmas, but she pretty much takes care of most of it. So, yeah. And today, we do almost everything online, pretty much. We don't get out and go to the stores much the way we used to.
Yeah, Edinburgh is becoming quieter and quieter at Christmas. We have this fantastic sort of German style Christmas market here that goes through all of December and into the first week or so of January. It's world famous and very, very popular, but the shops, yeah, they do a lot less trade, because everybody does it through Amazon. Amazon just gets slaughtered, and
oh yeah.
The high street just, it just chugs along, and it's just sign of the times. A little bit sad, but
yeah, well, it is, yeah. But no, I haven't started yet. I will soon.
I will probably. I'm like you. My wife will do like the vast majority of it, and my part of it I will probably do on the 22nd or 23rd.
That's it. That's plenty of time still.
It is. It's loads of time.
Loads of time. Come on.
Oh,
So Andy says he's using the tape, plus he's using the Slate console. Okay, the VCC. So he's going to try the suggestions and he'll get back to us. Yeah, so remember the console too, people don't realize, that's tape machine's a compressor to some degree. Console's a compressor to some degree.
Yep.
Compressor's a compressor to some degree, right? So just be careful that maybe you're over hitting these things and crushing a little too much, Andy. That'll do that. Even with the Slate VCC, just tap the needle. You don't need to hit it really hard. Remember, the more you drive the signal into those kinds of plugins, the more nonlinearities and coloration you're going to get, and more compression, which a lot of times is great. That's what we use it for. But in certain times, it's not. So just try to back off on that and let us know. It'd be interesting to know. Let's see. Mike says, "Did you buy a new guitar this year, Dave?" Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, are you asking? Because it's sitting right behind me. Hold on here.
Yeah, let's see what you get.
Let me get for each of them. Hold on. I just got it last week.
Oh. Looking forward to seeing this. Oh, very pretty. Very pretty.
So this is a Friedman guitar. The Friedman amplifiers? Well, they now make guitars hand-built by Grover Jackson. The guy that made Jackson Sharp. Let me get in the camera so you can see up here. So this is they call their vintage T. It's all relict.
Lovely.
With 2 humbuckers in it. And it's got, it just feels like, like a Guitar Auto at 40 years old, although it's brand new. It's really well made, sounds great. Wicked pickups. They have they're Friedman's, he calls them the Motor City pickups. They're like they're like an old, 50s PAF. That's what they kind of sound like. It's like a 50s Les Paul sound, kind of.
Yeah.
But it's light. It's only about 8 pounds. It's not very heavy. And so I bought that this year. There's the headstock.
Very nice indeed.
Yeah, these are nice. And let's see, did I buy any other guitars this year? I did. I bought it's way over there. I won't go get it, but I bought a Paul Reed Smith, a custom 24 with a Floyd Rose on it because I wanted a 24 fret guitar with a Floyd Rose.
Nice.
So I bought that. That's it. That's enough. I have 5. I have I have 5 guitars now, and that's it for me. I tried to make sure I have a guitar for, I have a Paul Reed Smith 594, which is a Les Paul. I have a Gibson 335. I have a Paul Reed Smith Custom 24. I have the Friedman. I showed you vintage T. And on the Custom 24, they're also you can tap the humbuckers. They're humbuckers, but you can tap them single coil, so you get the single coil sound too if you want. Although I'm not a big fan of single coil sound. I mean, in the right hands, single coil strats and those kinds of things sound amazing with the right player. I'm just not that kind of a player. So I love the way they sound when other people that really know how to play them. But I don't own like a Strat or anything like that. So that's what I bought.
Yeah, I'd love to get my hands on a good Strat or a Tele. I like Teles. I like the sound of a Tele. You know, they're just really great for jazz and for funk.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, Mike says for your wife. No, I didn't buy her a guitar, Mike. Those are for me. Grover Jackson, as in Jackson Guitars. Yes, the Grover Jackson is him. He is teamed up with Dave Friedman, and he hand makes. These are hand built, one at a time. They only make so many guitars a month. They're not that easy to get. They're not that. You could get them. But they have different, but it's hard to find a very specific model because they don't make very many of them. They don't come up for sale very often because when people buy them, they don't sell them. Because they're great. They are really great guitars. If you're looking for like a real vintage reissue that's not cheaply relicked, that really looks and feels like the real deal, these are really nice. They're really nice. And honestly, they're not that pricey. They're about the price of a Les Paul Standard. They're about $2,000 US. I mean, they make ones that are like $4,000, but this isn't one of them. This is a $2,000 guitar. So yeah. So I mean, you can buy a Les Paul Standard for about $1,900, and this is head and shoulders above the playability and feel of a Les Paul. And I've owned lots of Les Pauls. This guitar, quality wise, blows away a Les Paul Standard, unless you're lucky enough to get a really good Les Paul Standard that was made right. Or unless you go to the Les Paul, if you go to the custom shop, because I had a couple of 58 and 57 reissues, and those were great, but those are by custom shop, and those are $4,000 or $5,000 guitars. For $2,000, that's a hell of a custom, and it's a custom guitar. It's all, there's not a big shop. They don't make very many of them. So yeah, if you ever get a chance to play a Friedman, and you like that, well, they make single coil, but they make Strats too. But if you like that, if you like in this one, this sounds like a Les Paul. It's a big fat rock guitar. If you like that, and you're in the market, and you got about $2,000, take a look at them. They're for the price. You really can't beat them, I think. Hey, Chris, how are you? He just jumped in. Is it Joni? John. Evening all. How are you? That's a sick guitar. Yeah, thanks, man. It's great. I love it. Jackson is iconic. Yes, he is. Grover Jackson, Charvel Jackson. That's the guy.
Yeah. Didn't he build guitars for Alan Holdsworth at one point?
A lot of different people.
Yeah.
A lot of different big names. A lot of people don't realize that. There's a few, you could search him out on YouTube, and there's some interviews, not very many, where he talks about some of the people that he's made guitars for. A lot of top name players, especially in the 80s, he built custom guitars for. Yeah, he's a legend in the guitar building business for sure. And Dave Friedman is, a lot of people don't realize before Friedman, the company, Friedman Amplifiers, Friedman Pedals, Friedman Guitars, he used to build and modify all the amplifiers and build all the pedal boards and racking systems for like the biggest guitar players in the world. He still does, but like he's done of everybody. He used to modify Marshalls. He used to take all the things that people didn't like about a Marshall and make it better. And he had his own line of amplifiers at one time called Marsha, until he got a cease and desist letter from Marshall. And then he changed it to Friedman Amp. So Dave Friedman is a legend as far as amplifier modification, pedal boards, effects racks, big rack systems and that thing. And now he builds, Friedman amplifiers, which again, if you're into if you're into rock music on any level, classic rock, modern rock, and you like some of the best amplifiers I've ever heard. And they're pretty pricey, but man, oh man,
You pay for high quality.
yeah, you're not going to find something much better than that has that sound, you know? So, so yeah, so then he started building guitars and he teamed up with Grover Jackson, and Dave designed the guitars along with Grover, and Grover hand builds them one at a time.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
That's a labor of love, that is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but Mike says he built them for Kurt Hammett, James Hetfield. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. A dumb question. There are no dumb questions here. If I have an account on Home Recording Made Easy, do I need to make a new one for MixingMadeEasy.net? Yes, it's two different websites. Two different things. Okay. So MixingMadeEasy.net and Home Recording Made Easy, although it's, when you look at them, they look like they're the same website, and that's on purpose, right? The branding's the same, the color scheme, it looks very similar, but they are two different websites. So yes, you would need to create a separate account. You can use the same username and password for each one if that makes it easier for you, but they are two different things and it's of its own. I did not make MixingMadeEasy.net a part of Home Recording Made Easy website because the site was just too. The site is already big, Home Recording Made Easy, and it just made it too hard to manage it. And honestly, it's difficult to manage. It would be more difficult for you guys because you'd have certain people would have memberships. Some people wouldn't have memberships. Who gets what level of access to the website? It becomes very convoluted and more confusing. And the last thing you want is to have to log onto a website because you want to get your training and then be confused on, you know, and have to navigate a bunch of screens, you know. So to me, it made more sense to just create its own separate business. And one doesn't really, they're two totally separate things. So yeah, so that's all. Yeah. Thought so. Thanks. No problem. Hope to see you at MixingMadeEasy.net.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, that's anything else? Anything else you guys want to chat about? We've been on here about 52 minutes or so.
Wow, time flies.
It does. And we have what's it look to be, like 15, 16 people here, which is still cool.
Yep.
Seeing as we didn't plan this and we just showed up.
As we like to do every now and then.
Yeah, it's always fun to just get, because I don't always have to. Every time I've ever planned one of these things, people show up, but not much more than what we get when I don't plan it. So sometimes it's just easier just to say, hey, you know, I got a few moments or an hour. You guys want to get on and chat? That would be cool. And yeah, people show up. So it's really neat. It's really neat. So did everybody get a bunch of plugins for the Black Friday? Did everyone take advantage of all these crazy deals? I didn't buy any.
No, neither did I. And I was really tempted to check out companies that I've not looked at before. No, I didn't. I got, my inbox is so full of advertising for loads of companies. But no, I didn't buy a single thing. I was tempted by a few. In fact, there was FabFilter were doing deals on their Pro Q2.
Yep, because the Pro Q3 just came out yesterday, I think, right?
It just came out today, I think.
Or today? Maybe today. Yeah, I just saw, maybe it was today. I saw an email, and then yeah.
And so I thought, oh great, you know, maybe I could get my hands on the Pro Q2 whilst it's cheap, because the 3 is out here, and I didn't go for it. But I've seen you use it a lot, and I
love it.
It's a mind-blowing EQ.
Yeah, it does a lot more than what I even use it for. If you really wanted to get under the hood, it does a lot. I like it just for the little headphones that you can isolate the frequencies. That's great for trying to find annoying things that you need to cut out. Makes it really simple. And it's great for teaching because I can isolate it and people can hear exactly what I'm listening for. So I like it in that respect. Now the thing is, it doesn't add any color. It's not like an API EQ or Neve. It doesn't add. It's transparent.
Yeah.
Although they say there's a color feed, they have a couple of modes where they say it adds something, but I can't hear it, so I don't know what it's adding. But it's a transparent EQ. To me, it's like it's a great step up from a stock EQ. You know, from like the Pro EQ. If you wanted to step up with a few more features and a bigger, nicer little display with the the frequency isolation feature. Fantastic EQ for that. Fantastic EQ for that. Love it.
Yeah, I was looking at the Pro Q3 and seeing that it has a dynamic EQ section to it, it looks really, really cool. I was looking at a couple of demos on YouTube and I thought, wow, this looks really, really cool.
They make good stuff, FabFilter.
They make great stuff. They're a little bit out of my price range,
They're
but
a little pricey.
They make awesome stuff.
They do. They do. Let's see. I didn't buy any, but I was close to getting Easy Mix 2. I figured I'd learn what Studio One has first before looking into others. Yeah, Easy Mix is part of the Toontrax, is it not? Is that Toontrax? They make Easy Drummer, Superior Drummer, right? Yeah, Easy Mix, I believe it's like an all-in-one. It's like an all-in-one thing. You drop it on there, and it makes you not have to really know a whole lot about EQ compression and stuff. Easy Mix, right?
Bit like those Signature cities.
Yeah. I haven't used Easy Mix. I've heard some good things about it. I have used the Waves signature ones like the CLA or the Tony Maserati. Some of them are good. Some of them are not so good. I think something like Easy Mix is great if you got some demos and you're just trying to whip something together really quick and you're not really into the engineering end of it. You're more of like, I just want it quick and easy. I don't want to have to think too much and get something that's passable. That's probably really good for that. If you really want to get more into really into mixing and really get more on an engineering level, maybe not so much, but I haven't really played with it, so I shouldn't say that for sure. But yeah, I've heard some good things about it, so I know it's popular,
Mike says he could have blown $4,000 easy last week. Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
I think we all could have done something equally suicidal for marriages, but very glad I didn't.
Yeah. Aaron wants to know, what do you think about the mic simulator plugin?
Well, would that be the Slate mic?
Oh yeah, Slate makes one, and someone else makes one too. Universal Audio did something with what's something Labs, name escapes me, but they have a modeling mic as well. I've never used them. I've heard the few people that I know that have used them. I had 2 people tell me they're awesome, and 2 people say they're horrible. So go figure. I'm sure they're not awesome, and I'm sure they're not horrible. They're probably somewhere right in the middle, is my guess. I've seen Slate stuff, and I've seen him demo his stuff, and it sounds great to me. If you had, but it's not cheap though. I don't think they're pretty. Isn't it pretty expensive? I mean, if you're just going to get a single mic for like acoustic guitar, vocals, that kind of thing, maybe the one mic might be okay. But if you're going to do like drums and stuff and you had to get like all the little mics, I don't know. I would love to try it. I just wouldn't want to try. I wouldn't want to have to spend all that money to try it,
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I mean, for if you're wanting a really good collection of vocal mics, then it probably works out well for you. But when you start talking about getting the drum mic kit,
right?
Yeah, that's when if you've loads of money, then do it. But
because I don't think you need the microphone, the plug-in, and there's a piece of hardware too. There's a kit. It's a set, right? So it's probably not the cheapest thing in the world. But my guess is, Slate doesn't make any. I mean, most of their stuff is really good. So I'd be surprised if it wasn't decent. I gotta think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I would think so too. And to be fair to Stephen, he does price things pretty spot on.
Yeah. So I think it's interesting. I think if you do a lot of recording, and you want, like you said, you want to try these different old mic emulations that you don't have the money to spend $8,000 on a real U87, then probably well worth it. If you do a lot of recording, it's probably well worth it, or if you're like just a, singer-songwriter, acoustic guitar, vocal, you could just get his large diaphragm condenser. That's probably pretty affordable, then I think it's probably worth trying.
Yeah, I agree. It's if that's what you do, if it is, just vocal guitar, then yeah, probably worth investing in, $500 and you get what? I don't know, 100,000 $200,000.
That's what they say on Sweetwater. Yeah, because if you took all the mic models and added them all up, if you
It's
had to
probably.
buy the real thing,
Hmm.
and then the question will always become, does it really sound like the real microphone? And I don't know that it matters because unless you have the real microphone,
How,
like we talked about a little bit earlier, I mean, here's a $300 microphone that some of the biggest, pop and rock stars in the world have used. So, it really comes down to the performance, the artist, the engineer. Is the microphone make that much of a difference? And again, if you're sticking, well, again, this is a plug-in, but if you're taking a real expensive microphone and sticking it into a very mediocre preamp, that has a lot to do with it. It's a chain. It's a chain. So I don't know with the Slate stuff. I believe you get the interface, right? You must have
yeah,
the preamp, the box. I'm sure
yeah,
his preamps are pretty good. Um, but again, I haven't tried it myself. But for $500, but what does $500 get you, Aaron? That only gets you one microphone, right?
I
What
think
does that
so.
get you? The microphone and the interface, and then you get all the plugins, like all the different mic models. Is that what it gets you for 500?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what you get. But I mean, for $500, you could just pick yourself up a really good all round
Yeah,
good quality
well, the
mic.
thing is, for $500, you can't buy an old Neumann. You couldn't get one of the, but so that's going to be their sales pitch.
That's true.
But then again,
Do you really need?
yeah, you know,
I guess you got to look at your modus operandi. What's the thing you do most regular in your studio,
right.
and orientate your purchases around that. As tempting as it is to get something like the Slate Virtual Mic,
Yeah, if you don't have any microphones and you're in the market to buy yourself a decent microphone, the question would be, should I spend $500 on a real microphone or should I buy $500 on something like this?
Mm.
To be honest with you, and again, I'm just without having heard it, but my guess would be for $500, you're probably going to get something in the Slate stuff that sounds really good. You can buy some really good microphones for $500, but you can't buy really great microphones for $500.
True.
So will his models of those real great microphones outdo what you could buy physically for $500? I would hope so. I would think it would probably,
Hmm.
because if you pair it up with all those other plugins and you have his preamp, his microphone, and you put the whole virtual mix rack together,
Yeah.
you're probably going to get something a little bit more desirable than simply plugging a $500 microphone into a $100 USB audio box thingy.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Oh, I totally agree with that. Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting.
Aaron says he spent $1,700 on a Neumann already.
Oh, well then there you go. Well then, yeah, I mean, if you already spent $1,700, do you like the Neumann that you got? I mean, if you like it, I don't know. The software, what would you need it for?
Yeah.
And he said he would get an AKG 414 for 500. Yeah, it's a good mic. I've used those. Those are good too. Sure. Those are good. Um,
A mic that Warren Hewitt raves about quite a lot. He raves about Lewitt mics quite a lot, but he was recently talking about the 240, which sounds
mm,
it's a low cost mic, but the quality is extremely high. I've watched his demos of it, and you can get the vocal stems, and it sounds really, 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 really good, really high quality considering the price point that it's at. It's I'm trying to remember what it is. It can't be much more than $150,
oh, really?
maybe. Yeah, maybe 200. And it sounds like a lot more expensive microphone, just the frequency response, the clarity you get.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it really depends on what you're going to use it for. What's the application? If you're looking for an all-around something very specific, or if you're looking for a good all-arounder that you can use in multiple different sources that'll always sound good no matter where you put it. So a
Yeah,
lot of that has to do with that. If you were just a vocalist and it was just on your voice, well, you're gonna try some microphones to find the microphone that best suits you. If you
yeah,
want something that's an all-arounder, then your choices would be different. And if you have a limited budget, well, then the question is it better to have several different modeled mics as opposed to one microphone?
Yeah, yeah, that's also very true.
And again, choice. Again, we get back to what Andy was saying a little earlier. Too many choices isn't always a good thing. It depends on what you're doing.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I mean, I I think the most recording I do with this mic is me and maybe two or three other voice artists, and that's about it. And so far, I've been lucky that most of the people that have used this mic, their voices sounded really good on it.
Yeah.
So but again, that can be really hit or miss. And in my case, this works out quite well for me. Although I think I would like something that's a little, because I have this kind of nasally kind of sound when I'm singing, that I'd like to find a mic that is going to kind of taper that off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I have been looking at Lewitt mics, so I might well see if I can pick myself up one for Christmas.
Yeah, you need a Christmas present.
I do. I probably need a graphics card more than I need a mic.
Well, that's yeah, right. Yeah, I've never been a big. I never really got deep into microphones, and there's guys that really get into it, and they collect different types of mics, and they all sound subtly different, and they're really into it. I've never been that because in my studios and stuff, I never needed that, so I never had to go down that road. I always just had a few, good all-purpose mics. And that was it. I don't think I ever had anything more that was maybe more than maybe $1,000 or $1,200
Mm-hmm.
for a mic. I know, because I never had a use for it. It would sit in the locker a lot more than it would get used.
And that, yeah.
So it depends on your studio and what you're doing. Mike says he was looking at mics, and the wife said $149 Audio Technica was too much. I guess I don't get to do mic. But she said that she said that the PreSonus Atom pad controller. Oh, she said okay to that. Okay. Hey, Mike, take what you can get when you can get it.
Exactly.
And don't ask any questions.
Well, questions usually equal death, or some other form of suffering.
Yeah. Or you do what I used to do and just buy the stuff and don't tell her. You can always do that too. Unless she's the one that gets the bill, and then, you could be in a divorce court or something, but.
Yeah, or she might be saying, what would you like written on your headstone?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the thing is, this hobby can get very expensive if you're not careful, if you're not careful.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think I never set out to have a particularly expensive studio, but I've ended up with probably about 8-9 grand's worth of gear that I've built up over, 25, 26 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you do it as a business too, like I do. So, I mean, some of it is you just like the hobby and the gear and it's fun. And then some of it, hey, it's what I used to make a living. So do I need all of it? No. Could I make a living with far less? Yes.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I could do without the PreSonus mixer if I had to.
Yeah, but some of it, I don't know. You can't take it, I told my wife, I don't want it, I can't take it. What am I going to do? Take it all with me? I can't take it with me. And so, part of it is the love and the enjoyment of it, because also too, especially if you do this for a living and you're forced to do it on a daily basis, as opposed to a hobby where you could just come into your studio whenever the mood strikes you. Part of it is you gotta do things to keep this interesting, or this can get very stale very quickly, So, new gear is nice. New plugins are nice. It's a way to kind of keep inspired, and things are always changing. And I don't know. That's how I justify it anyway.
Andy Arthur says that he got an AKG C2000B for $80 in a pawn shop.
Oh wow.
You know, I have picked up gear from pawn shops here in Edinburgh. I picked up a Pearl Masters series custom snare drum made out of Tamil ash that the serial number on it was 17.
Hmm.
I got that from a pawn shop
Yeah, a lot of
for,
people don't know what they have when they trade it
for
in.
it was under £100. I was just like,
Wow.
I'm having that. I don't care. I'm having that right now, and so I
Right.
did. So I bought it, and I sold it for
Well,
£980
there you go.
and
There you go.
invested studio gear instead. But what a beautiful drum! My word, you only have to breathe on it, and it sounds incredible. But the thing with the quality of the drum was so good that any slight flaws in your sticking technique and everybody would hear it. So if you're playing a flam and your flam is a little bit too open on a slightly cheaper drum, you can get away with it.
Right.
But on something like this drum, it just sounds like you're sloppy.
Yeah.
It's the quality of the build of the instrument, even just with the stock Pearl snare batter head on it, it sounded incredible. So when I switched that up for an Evans Genera G2, it, I was just like my jaw was on the floor at that point.
You got a
And
good deal, man.
I got an absolute steal, and then I sold it for just under a grand, so that I could invest in a few other things. But yeah, it's a sale I now regret because I'm playing some drumming gigs again, and I wish I had that drum.
Yeah, every now and again I get a deal like that. I got a deal in 2015 on a Gibson 33 ES335 on Reverb from the Chicago Music Exchange. So I was on there, and like everyone, I'm always perusing stuff that I can't afford to buy, and they were selling a brand new 2015 ES335, and the price they were selling it for was $14.99. And I said, wait a minute, I have another 335, and I know these are $3,200 guitars. This can't be right. So I'm looking at the listing, and I know Chicago Music Exchange, they don't put up phony listings. I thought it was mispriced. So I bought it, and I said, oh, wow, got a guitar literally half price. It's brand new. 2 days later, the girl from the thing emails me and says that they had one left and three people, I guess the timing of it, I was like the second person, like someone bought it, but it never came off the thing. It never came off the website, and then I bought it. So she said, I said, oh, that's such a, and I said, you really selling them for, for $1,500? And they said, yeah, because all the 16s were coming into the store and they needed to blow out the 15s. And they were giving them away. But she said, have no fear. Our district manager's going to the Memphis factory next week, and we're buying up the rest of their 2015 ES335s. I will have them ship you one directly from the Gibson factory for the same price. Because she felt bad that I bought it, and I was second in line. Sure enough, a week later, right from the Gibson factory in Memphis, Tennessee, I get a brand new, same color, right off the factory floor, the
Wow.
ES335. And that's, if you go, you can't find even the 335 Studio, and this is not a studio, is over $2,000. This guitar is a $3,200 guitar. If you bought a brand new ES335 from the Memphis shop, they're $3,500. And I got it for $1,500.
That's just bonkers.
Brand new. And I got it still. I play it all the time. I love it. So every now and then, and I think, so every now and then you can sneak up on a deal like that. And when you see it, you got to jump on it, right?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I did that with my bass. My bass is slightly out of shot, my fretless, which is it's modeled after a 1962 Fender jazz bass. And all I did was take the frets out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll show you.
Oh, that's it right there. Yeah, I could see that in the shop. There we go. I love that color. That's really nice. I love the tobacco sunbursts.
Yeah, it's kind of meant to look like Jaco Pastorius's bass.
That's really nice. I like that a lot.
And it plays absolutely gorgeously. I mean, I've never had this set up.
Mm-hmm.
The action on it is just perfect.
Flip it around. What's the back look? Can I see the back? Yeah, that's nice. I like that. I love that. That to me, that's my favorite finish. I love the vintage Sunburst guitars. I've always have.
I mean, all I did was take the frets out and then just paint lines. You know, because I mean, I hang on. I started out as an upright bass player, and got fed up with carting an upright bass around. So, so I went to an electric, and I got myself a Fender jazz bass from the 80s, fretted, and played that for about 15 years, and then was just like, yeah, I just want to go back to that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to that fretless kind of sound, which is what, you know, that upright sound. Want to find the perfect bass that sounds just like an upright bass, but it's electric. And so I happened upon this, and this guy was £250.
Wow.
I thought, this is just unreal. It sounds like it should be a £5,000 bass. So I thought, I have to go to Guitar and go and sit down with one of their sort of £3,000-4,000 Fender jazz basses and just compare. So I did. I played them both through the same amp with the same strings, not the same strings, the same lead and everything, and had it all set up how I like it. And this was just clear winner.
Wow.
Yeah. That's my bass, not this $5,000 one. There you go. Put that one back on the shelf.
Yep, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we've been on here about an hour and 15 minutes, and I have to get going because I got to put the kid to bed, and then I got to get back to work for a couple more hours. So again, thanks everybody for stopping in. Again, go over to mixingmadeeasy.net, sign up. Make sure you sign up in December, so you get the good price. And for all of you that have signed up, and I recognize a lot of your names, so I can see. I know a few of you have already signed up. Thank you so much. You're really going to like it. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I hope you all come and join me for the ride.
Oh,
and
definitely.
And if I don't see you guys, well, I'm sure I'll probably see you before the holiday. But if for some reason we don't get back on here again between now and Christmas, have a great holiday and a safe holiday. And 2019 is going to be a lot of fun. A lot of good stuff going on.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Far too exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much. Take care. We'll see you all very soon.
Cheers, folks.